Good everyone, today's video, and today we have a dumb comments episode. This is going to be number 5. I can't believe how quickly we managed to get these out, to be honest. So before I begin, there's going to be a bit of a update to the channel whilst I'm here, because obviously dumb comments tends to be quite a popular series. So I'm just going to mention it now. After this video has gone out, there's going to be a brief period of a channel break. I'm taking a bit of a break because, well, there's a little bit of a surprise coming up. Unfortunately, it's delayed. I don't know when it's coming, and I don't really want to do any more recordings until that happens. So after this point specifically, there will be no more videos for a little bit. I'd say a couple of weeks. But one of the 3 things has already arrived. You obviously won't see one of them because, well, you won't unless I do like a man cave tour or something. But the other 2 will make a difference. But of course, if you are in the Discord, you already know about it. Don't spoil it for others. Okay, now that that's over and done with, let's get into the video. So, starting off with comment number 1, we've got a game ASAP commented on the DB3A Spade review. Sorry for the picture quality. The thumbnail that's in the actual thing is 1080p and all that jazz. It's just because it's a screenshot and I've zoomed it in. It looks a little bit horrible. Well, yeah, aircraft tend to be bad when you fly them in straight lines. He clearly never watched more than 10 seconds of the actual gameplay because I actually dove to the deck and bombed ground targets the entire game on, well, it is still Operation Uranus. That's what it is. That's what the actual map is called. Um, but all I'm saying is if you're going to leave a stupid comment like this, how about you watch more than 5 seconds of the gameplay instead of jumping to conclusions, because you'll make yourself less of an arse that way. And, well, yeah, the plane is bad. You just clearly haven't played it more than once. Thanks, Java. Moving on to comment number 2, we have a comment by Matthews. Hi all, cheetah and play as a old girl. Pathetic. I think that's how you imply it. I think he was calling me a cheater because this is on one of my normal gameplay videos. Yeah, and, well, I'm not being funny, right? You look like you're, what, 9 years old? Grow up. I've already said before, if you want me to prove I'm not a cheater, then I gladly will, but instead of saying that and calling someone an old girl, how about you just grow up a bit and wait till your bollocks drop, kid, before you start insulting people? And most importantly, learn how to spell pathetic, but that's just how kids are these days. Moving on to comment number 3, we have a comment by, I hope I'm going to pronounce this right, I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation, Dlaczego Siema Juzinima. I don't know I don't know how the fuck you say that. Anyway, so he doesn't actually post a dumb comment. The thing is that a lot of people have been doing this. I don't know why. He says, I didn't pay either, and I have level 76 in the battle pass. This was on, I can't remember which video this was on. But then he puts underneath, please do not add this comment to dumb comments. And, well, it wasn't dumb. It's just I wanted to add this because, well, I really haven't had that many dumb comments, but for some reason, people like will literally put in their comment, "Please don't add this to dumb comments," and I find that hilarious. And I figure, uh, a good old friend here, because I'm not saying that name again because I'll butcher it. Um, I figure he'd be a good example of why we should have a good bit of sense of humor in this series. Anyway, on to number 4. We have a comment by ND33. This was on my, I believe it was the Tux Gladiator episode. Yeah, it was on the review of the Tux Gladiator. And he says, does it not make sense that a gladiator flying at relatively low speeds at very close distances to numerous AA batteries will get damaged? Now, that is true. That is very true. A biplane flying at low speed would be damaged by anti-aircraft artillery. That just makes sense. However, what you have to remember is we're not just going to look at all of his replies and of course my own replies. We're going to look at his bottom reply, which I'll make it a bit easier for the users on a phone as best I can, and also you can follow my cursor. He says, well, to me, I think it's more important than the game is balanced than if it's fair to a new player. If an AA shell explodes next to you, it will naturally damage the entire plane because of the way the shrapnel works. I think AA is in a good place now. I'm going to stop right here. Number one, if you think a game should be balanced around AAA and being fair, than not being fair to a new player, I mean, you're stupid as far as I'm concerned. If you saw in that gameplay, I took one hit from AAA and my entire plane was torn to bits. Second hit from AAA pretty much took my plane out of the sky. I only just got the bastard back to base. How is a new player going to know when to return to base? How is a new player going to learn from being shot down by AAA? Don't fly slow in a slow plane. Don't fly at low altitude in a game mode where at low tiers, low altitude combat is the most common? Or do you just not think like that? And then this point here, I think AA is in a good place now. I think the numerous times I've been sniped at 6 kilometers high by a single flak round would like a word with you about that. And I don't mean a direct hit, I mean a near miss. And by near miss, I mean a good 400 meters. It's extremely overpowered. And yes, he does go on to say maybe a tad powerful, but I think it's around a balanced area. How about you go play low tier on... What map is it? It's counteroffensive. How about you go play on that map in a biplane and then come back to me? Because it just doesn't... No, it isn't balanced. If you played on that map, I've been shot down in my Mirsky, and I've been prevented a carry in my Mirsky because of AAA. It tore my plane to bits in 2 hits. I wasn't even close to the AAA. And no, it wasn't those stationary flak batteries. It was the 25mm guns on the back of trucks. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Andy, you're a bit full of shit there. Now, there is one point he does raise, which I do agree with him, is the only thing I will say is pilots should be more resistant to AA because the shrapnel shouldn't be travelling through the fuselage. Now, that depends on the plane, but yeah, and also it's down to your crew vitality, but still, I just had to bring this comment up because it annoyed me slightly, if I was to be brutally honest, but it was also kind of dumb with some of the points he made. Moving on to comment number 5, we have Turd the Turtle Gamer, who... come on, mate. I know you've been wanting to get into this series for a long time, but there is a pretty big distinction between an I-16 and an I-15. The best biplane in the game is definitely not the I-16 because that is a monoplane, my mate. And he also asked, what do you mean by try hard? Like, how do you try hard? That part's fine. People just don't know that all the time. And well, at least he agrees with himself here, saying, sorry, I am just dumb. Well, welcome to the series, buddy. But at the same time, please learn the distinction from an I-15 and a I-16. That way, you won't end up in episodes like this. The best part was he never went back and actually checked his comment. This is still here, as far as I know, unless he's deleted it, which some people in the past episodes have actually clearly watched the episode, left a dislike, and then gone back and delete their comments so people don't have to read them. So just bear that in mind. Next up, we have Wolverine AK. This was on Palia's D510, the review of it at least. Too much talking, not enough flying. Why start the review 5 minutes in? Just talk while flying. Now, clearly people forget that I do my reviews differently to others, and the way I do my reviews is I go over the vehicles in the hangar, I give a brief description of how the vehicle plays in the hangar, and then we go into the gameplay. That's just how I do my reviews. I've always done it like that. I prefer the style, and I don't get why more people don't do that personally. Like, there's some people that do, but I just don't know why people don't. And claiming that I started the review 5 minutes in clearly proves that you skipped half of the video. I went over basic facts about the aircraft, armament, engine performance, climb rate, and most importantly, I went over a little trick which you can use in that plane. But clearly, you didn't watch it. And I replied accordingly with, clearly you do too much complaining rather than paying attention. The review begins in the hangar, then the gameplay takes over once I finish describing the vehicle in detail, to give you a practical demonstration of what the bird can do, sometimes with a funny moment included just to add to the gameplay portion. But clearly this is too much for you to understand. If you're going to leave a comment, actually watch the full video and listen to what is provided both in the hangar and gameplay before saying that the review apparently starts halfway in, which it does not as demonstrated, clearly proving you did not pay attention. You'll be surprised how many people actually skip the hangar portion of the video. I've noticed that on some of my reviews, the watch time is actually lower for some users from certain parts of the world, because they just skip the hangar part. They don't actually skip, or they actually skip some important information as well. So yeah, don't skip. Just be patient. The gameplay will come. Moving on to comment number 7, we have Bertie Burt on my very first video. Actually, this was the first one that I ever did. It was on my 19 kill run in the M3A1 Stuart, and that thumbnail is amazing, and most importantly, that is not the original thumbnail. I just added a thumbnail, a basic one, about a year ago, just to like make it stand out a little more because it just seemed a little lazy, and I wanted to put in something, so that's just what I did. So Bertie puts, "Wow, whoa, I hate these," and his grammar really pissed me off. But he wanted to be featured, and my God, he. Oh, the best part is because he brought up I think it was because it was deleted because of the fact that he brought up German. I don't know why. YouTube's just been deleting a lot of shit lately. It's really annoying. I don't think this is the full comment either because it's not the end of the apostrophes. So, Bertie, if you still remember the comment, please do let me know. But he says, "Hate these mute gamers, so boring to watch, disliked and not subbing, get a mic, dude, dumb German comment for the series." Well, thank you for your contribution, Bertie, but my God, you hurt my brain. Let's just say that. Moving on to comment number 8, and just as a side note, this is another point that I need to bring up. I've started using dark mode for YouTube. If you want the comments in dark mode so they're a little easier to read, please do let me know in the comments. Anyway, so this is from a user named Mark2, and the comment was literally made the day the account was made. Daimler Mark II is my utmost favorite with like 10 exclamation marks. Bad playing with another 10 exclamation marks. I got 13 kills ever. Better not use it with another 10 exclamation marks. I got talisman and ace. Now, for some reason, these channels appear to originate from Singapore, of all places. Now, I've never been to Singapore, but is there some sort of tradition there? Like you make a account based on a vehicle, and you just go and comment on every single video that has to do with it. I don't know. I can't say I've ever been to Singapore, but I do want to. But this just seems a little strange because I had one guy who commented on my ME262 video with the same sort of style, like ME262 was his name. And that account was also from Singapore and was also made the day the comment was made. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, he left, well, this individual left 2 comments. This is the second one. And yeah, just grow up. I don't care if you got 13 kills, and even then, you have no proof of that. And besides, if you're gonna call someone bad playing, how about you grow up and stop playing the less than 5-year-old mentally game? I think that would benefit you in the long run. Moving on to comment number 9, we have a comment by Frank Leo. This is on the LA9 Spade review, by the way, in case you was curious. The situation is getting worse and worse for you while no one is on your tail and your teammates survives. Right, first of all, it's teammate, not teammates, because, well, if you want to imply it in that way, you'd have to say it as, while no one is on your tail and your teammates are still alive. That's how you'd have to imply it, not with your butchered pronunciation there. And clearly he didn't watch the full video because my situation only got worse as I had to dive in against a swarm of German and Japanese aircraft, and I had to drop 7 birds with an LA-9 with 1 ammo load. That's quite hard to do. And if you've flown an LA-9, you kind of know that you have to split the guns on it if you want to stay in the fight longer. But there's also a catch-22 with that. If you have ping like Harry, it ain't working full stop. But clearly this individual is too, well, for a start, you need to go back to Dead Rising, mate. And I don't mean the second one with Chuck. I mean the first one with Frank West, because clearly you two ought to get along like 2 peas in a pod. Because he was a bit of a bellend in that game, and well, you're being a bit of a bellend by posting something stupid like this. Anyway, and on to comment number 10. We finish up with BKP, who says, on my German IL-2 Premium Series flight, so you got 4 online player kills and 2 bots, and you call that an ace, with a laughing face and then saying, ha ha. And I replied accordingly because I always, whenever these comments come in, by the way, I always look at the channel because that gives me an idea of how I can roast them back. And this individual must have been about 10 years old, if I reckon, so I replied accordingly. If you were going to make a stupid comment like this, how about you watch the full video? I ended up killing 6 players and 3 bots. But clearly watching a full video is too much to ask of your Fortnite-fueled brain, because yes, this is a Fortnite player. Number 1, Fortnite is shit. I've played it exactly once, and I had to deal with a Russian troll who tried insulting me, and I couldn't actually communicate back to him because it's set to default as push to talk on Fortnite, if anyone was curious. I think they might have changed that. But I eventually did manage to figure it out, and then I roasted his ass, and then just never played the game again because it turned out I wasn't the only one who was having to deal with that guy, and the other guys who that guy was roasting then started attacking me. Bear in mind, I was doing the best in my squad, so yeah. But if you're going to claim stupid points like this, how about you watch the full video and watch the results screen before making something stupid like this? It's really not that hard, is it? Anyway, that's the end of today's video. As I said at the beginning, obviously if you didn't watch the opening, then, well, I'll say it here. Bit of a break coming up for the channel. After this point, there'll be a break for about a couple of weeks. It just depends on how long it takes for object number 2 and object number 3 to appear. Obviously, don't put it in the comments if you already know of it, if you are in the Discord, of course. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope to see you all in a couple of weeks with the surprise. And once the surprise is here, I'll get set up as soon as I can. And, well, hopefully we will, how can I say, hopefully we will have some nice surprises for the future, and hopefully things might improve. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope to see you all in a few weeks. Catch you all later.